Hello, Title Tribe. Welcome back to Friendly Fire. My name is Justin Stevens. We're back with you for another episode where we're going to be breaking down a new feature in Rival Fantasy. So, Rival Fantasy is the newest evolution in fantasy sports betting. You want to go to joinrival.com/Title Tribe. They have $1 fantasy bingo cards. That's right, $1 gets you a fantasy bingo card. On these fantasy bingo cards, they have a list of achievements. If you select, say, I think the Bengals are on bye this week, right? So,
Yes, they are.
but anyway, let's just throw it out there because Jamar Chase was the first name that came to mind. Let's say Jamar Chase is your wide receiver, and one of the achievements are that your wide receiver will get a receiving touchdown in the second quarter. Well, if Jamar Chase gets a receiving touchdown in the second quarter, then instead of B6, it fills in a wide receiver on your team gets a second quarter touchdown. And then if you fill in enough squares, you win bingo. Anyway, that's just one of the many creative ways that you can bet on Rival. You can bet fantasy football on Rival. Well, now they have a new feature. And we're going to be talking about that in a little bit. We're going to be talking about a new feature where you can gamble in season. And just a moment ago, you heard the lovely voice of my I want to say temporary backup, but be honest with you, like, I don't want to toot my own horn, but for a long time I was a substitute teacher. And I remember everybody used to always talk about how awesome it was to have me come in and fill in for them. And I just kept thinking, I'm just a dude that's just doing my job, right? They need me. They call me up. And like, sometimes they would even call me in to do English classes. And I don't know if you know me, but I am not good with English. Like, I barely passed English with a D- because the football coach was my teacher, and then I passed Spanish with like a C+, and don't know a lick of Spanish, but like I actually paid attention in Spanish. So like I never understood why they would have me come in and teach an English class. But then now we have this ultimate substitute that keeps coming in and knocking it out of the ballpark. Rich, my man, thanks again for coming on this wonderful Saturday morning to record Friendly Fire with me. I'm excited to have you back on, and but we greatly appreciate you. What are your plans for today?
Well, real quick, wouldn't anybody would love to have a substitute teacher like this? I could walk in and like play all kinds of games, like walk in and say, "What's up, Vato? What we doing today?" You know, kind of like just messing around and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden, I come out with my regular voice and stuff like that. So I think I'm a pretty good substitute teacher.
I was thinking you could just shave and walk in and be like you're one of the kids.
You know what? when I go to my son's football game, I'm walking through and stuff like that, and probably about 15, I'm probably 75% of the school is taller than me. So I get it. And these kids are, I think they're 15, 16 when they start out as freshmen.
And you're like,
yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing because I always think each generation, it's like the kids get taller and taller, you know?
Well, we're at that age too, that we're starting our decline too.
Yeah, it's like the reverse Benjamin Button factor, you know.
All right, we should probably start talking about football at some point. So before we do that, I want to make sure I plug the Gilded here real quick. We have a channel that's designated just for Gilded in our Rival chat. So it's just designated for Rival in our Gilded chat. We have over 200 people in the Gilded chat. It seems like every time I look, John has one or two new people in the Gilded. So it's constant football. There's a lot of different channels. We don't just talk about Rival, but there is one channel specifically for Rival. So if you see a bet on Rival that you'd like to place against one of us, then you can see down below underneath my name here. I've got Justin T to T, and then underneath the Frito, he's got Frito Bandito FF. Those are our names on Rival. So if you're in the Gilded, you drop us, you let us know that you placed a bet and sent it to us on Rival. We'll go and take a look at it. If we like it, we'll accept it. If we don't like it, we still might accept it because we're degenerates. If it's even close, we'll probably accept it because it makes football a little bit more fun on Sundays. So we have a number of different things that we like to do. One thing we like to do are random challenges where we're just going to rifle through and choose a random challenge. We like to do the one-on-one challenge. Last week, Rich and I did tight ends from the NFC. I think this week we'll do tight ends from the AFC just to spice it up a little bit. But before we do all that, we want to show you the new feature that we have on on Rival Fantasy because I'm excited about the Rival Fantasy. So, Rich, I know this is on your screen. If you could hit that back button one time to show the overall league. There we go. So now he's on the league matchups. So when you're in your in-season leagues, like this one is the 10th and final season-long league that Toyless Titles put together. It's called the Super Tight Kicker League. So this league is very different because you start 3 tight ends, 2 defenses, and 4 super flex, nothing else. So it's a kind of a wild situation. But now on the in-season bets, here's how it works. You cannot choose a like for instance, the top one there, Frito Bandito is playing against Ray Finkel's Revenge. It looks like Frito already had, well, they both already had Thursday night games. So once a Thursday night game kicks off, if there is a Thursday night player on either team, you can no longer bet. So you want to get these bets in early in the week before the Thursday night football. But we did find a game where both sides did not have a Thursday night player happen, and that's right down there at the bottom. Dustin 9, which is our boy, our Patreon, Dustin Hetridge, I believe is how you say it. And then my wife Lori is Joe Burrow's kicker, so he's going to click on that, and we're going to look at their teams. And now, below their icons up there, you see the little tab that says bet. So now you can actually place bets on which team you think is going to win. Well, you don't see Rich's name up there. You don't see my name up there, but yet we're still able to bet, right? So that's the whole beauty of this. So these two are going to see that there's a couple of us out there betting for or against their teams. And then that adds even more to it. Now you can't bet for yourself to lose. Believe me, I tried. That is one thing. They will not let you bet on your own game unless you're betting on yourself to win. It's kind of like they're at least a little bit better than the MLB was with Pete Rose. They at least let us bet on ourselves to win. So if he's scrolling through and looking at the teams here, and so here's the thing. I've already spoken with Lori about this week and about this matchup. And I don't think, because we only get 3 bench spots. And if you see who's on her bench, like she has 3 good defenses in a league where you have to start 2 defenses. She's got Devon Achane, who is off the chain when he plays. Kind of hard to drop him, even though there's free agents out there. There's not a lot of free agent tight ends, though. And then she has Tony Pollard on bye. You're not going to drop Tony Pollard. So if you looked at the free agent tight ends, there's just nothing out there that you're going to be willing to drop one of those guys for. And she has a tight end that's on bye this week. The projections show that she's still projected to win. So I think she's going to try to roll the dice with Dalton Schultz on bye and hope that she still gets the win. So I'm going to be willing to take that side because it is my wife, and I feel like I probably wouldn't be able to I'd have to sleep on the couch for a few nights if I bet against her. So Rich was gracious enough to let me have that side of the bet. Rich, why don't you go ahead and talk about Dustin's side and the reason why you spoke up and said that you would take Dustin's side?
Yeah, so even though I saw the projections and stuff like that, I'm a 11 point dog. He does have Dallas Goedert that's going against a great matchup against Miami. Devontae Smith is already on the injury report, so going to be a little affected by it. So Dallas Goedert has a good opportunity to really score some high points and everything. Excuse me. George Kittle, look, he had a big game 2 weeks ago, came back last week, had a bad game. So I expected him to have a bounce up, but you also got to factor in, look, they got multiple injuries going on. CMC might not play. Debo might not play and everything. So he's going to be more involved in it. So I expect him to have a better game than what they're projecting and everything. And then just look at the other options in Superflex. You know, there ain't no quarterbacks. He does have David Montgomery out. I didn't realize that and everything. So if my man comes in and changes the lineup and takes out David Montgomery, his options right now is Brandon Ayuk, which I think is a good possibility. And he also has Brian Robinson. You factor that in and everything. And then all of a sudden,
he's projected to win.
There you go, sir. Yeah. Even though I didn't originally see that, but now as I go down and self-analyze this team, I like my chances even better now.
Yeah, I like it. So go ahead and place that $5 bet on Dustin.
So
And
I'm gonna click the bet. I'm
yep,
actually gonna go over the bonuses because I'm if I'm gonna bet on another game and stuff, and I have the funds that is given to me based off of what I've already betted, I'm gonna go ahead and utilize that.
yep.
So what do you want to do? A $5 bet or $1 bet on this?
It doesn't matter, whatever. But so the way the bonus money works is that's part of his original money that he deposited. So if you deposit, your first deposit of up to $200 is matched. And then they give you an additional $25 as long as you use this link right here, joinrival.com/title tribe. They'll give you that additional $25 too. Just for joining that link, and so every time you bet $1, it gives you $1 in your available bonuses until that match has been matched. Okay, so that's how they do it. They obviously they don't want you to drop a $200 deposit and then they put 400 on your account and you cash out and just get 200 free dollars. So every time you bet $1, you get $1 bonus until your $200 is matched. So that's how the bonuses work. I just wanted to throw that out there before we get rolling. So
Yep.
yeah,
So
go
I'm
ahead.
going to do the $5 bet, and I'm going to make sure I reach out to Dustin in our Patreon chat or Gilded chat, and make sure he realizes he needs to go change his players.
All right, very good, very good. So now I need to share my screen so I can show people what it looks like on the other end. Let's see.
I'll remove mine. You want me to add? Okay, you got it.
Okay, so now as I'm looking through, I go down to that game and I see that there's already been a $5 bet placed. Now at this point, I don't even know who it was that I guess maybe I could hit view bets. Oh yeah, I see. So now I see that Frito is betting against my wife, and I'm like, that son of a. So I'm going to go ahead and click over here. I'm also going to use my. Well, no, I guess I'm not going to use my bonuses. Oh yeah, okay. I only have $5 left in the bonus, so I'll use my $5 bonuses. There we are. And so now we both have a $5 bet against each other. Now let's say Dustin wants to get on here. Okay. If Dustin ends up getting on here and he bets a $5 bet, there's now $15 in the pot. Okay. You're no longer playing for just $5, Rich. I don't know if you knew how that worked or not, but the way it works now, if Dustin gets on and he bets for his team, now we have a $15 bet, a $15 pot. Now, if my $5 bet wins, then I believe the way it works is I can still only win up to my $5 bet. So minus the 10% that they take out for rivals. So I would end up getting $4.50 or whatever from this bet plus my additional $5 or whatever. But if you guys both win, you're now splitting a $15 pot. So instead of you potentially winning my $5, you're actually potentially going for $7.50 on a $5 bet. So the more people that are in the pot, the bigger the pot is to win, and you're just winning a percentage of that pot. Does that make sense?
It does, and I actually like that.
Yeah.
So if you see a favorable matchup like that, and if you're knowledgeable, like with the most of our T2 team and everything and stuff like that, it's a little way you could pad your pocket and stuff like that, getting other people involved.
Yeah, you could try to get the pot as large as possible for one particular game, and then if everybody else is betting $5 and you're really confident that one side's going to win, you could bet like $40, and now you're winning a larger percentage of that purse. So you're betting a larger percentage, so you have more risk involved in it, but you're also going to win a larger percentage of all the other $5 if you win. Does that make sense?
It does.
Yeah, pretty wild. So it's just another fun way. So Rival is constantly looking for ways to take fantasy football or fantasy sports in general, because they also do basketball and baseball and other sports to come down the line. But they're constantly looking for ways to make fantasy sports into other ways of gambling. So, and I think they hit the nail on the head with this one, because this is going to be fun. This will especially be big moving forward, and there's other things coming down the pipeline as well that I'm not really allowed to talk about yet at this point, but they're just constantly evolving. So
here's the beautiful thing about this, and this is what I love about it. And I don't know if you remember back in the day, because it's very rarely that I use Yahoo and I'm sure there's other stuff, and I apologize for mentioning that, but you used to be able to go down in your league and you could pick who you thought would win, but there was no skin in the game.
Yeah.
And everything and stuff like that. And this is what Rival did. It's so beautiful is now they're putting skin in the game and stuff like that. And it just makes it so much more funner. The fact that, okay, you're playing fantasy football and stuff like that, and you could bet on the other teams and everything now too and put some money on it. And that's what I love about it.
Yep. I love it. All right. So now I'm going to go over to our challenges. We're going to go ahead and play our little games. Let's see. Well, first I want to go to social challenge. We'll do the tight ends from the AFC first. So I went to the social challenge, went to create. Now this is one. I need to remind Coach because this is one that we made. Coach and I made a bet on Tuesday night's flagship show, and I'm trying to prove a point here that the Eagles are about to hit a big wall with all the teams that they're actually finally going to face good teams coming up. So they're going to start hitting a wall. And I don't necessarily think that Raheem Mostert's going to outscore Swift, but I do think it's a strong possibility because I do think that the Dolphins are a better team. So it'll be fun to watch. But so he and I kind of went head to head a little bit Tuesday night, and we decided to place a rival bet. So I got to remind him to accept that bet. But I'm going to create a new challenge, and we're going to take a look at the NFL, and we're looking at tight ends from the AFC. So I think I can type in TE and just look at tight ends. Well, mostly tight ends. Okay, I think we should throw out Travis Kelce. Let's make it, and probably Mark Andrews too. What do you think?
Okay, I'll work with that.
All right, we'll throw out those top two guys. Now I know you already have your rankings list up and going. So if you have your top guy after those two, just let me know. Let's see. Wow, it kind of gets crappy after those top two. All right. I'm going to have to look at a schedule. So you go ahead and pull up your list or your rankings and tell me who you want.
I'm not even gonna I'm gonna go with the rookie. Let me go.
I like it.
I'm going a rookie, and I'm gonna be a homer here, but not so much homer because this gentleman has been climbing up the charts, and he's got a good matchup against the Chicago Bears. I am going Michael Mayer from the Las Vegas Raiders.
Yep, I like it. That's a good one. And Hunter Henry, I believe, is questionable and possibly not playing. There's nothing out there. What's
So let me pull it up real quick.
And I can't go with the Jaguars, Ingram, because they've already played. I think maybe I might go Buffalo here because they play New England. Might go with the Buffalo tight end, but
because I was gonna bring up the rankings if you wanted to take a look at it.
No, that's all right. Actually, wasn't Dalton Kincaid the one we said is going to be out this week?
Good.
Or no, that was Dalton Schultz is on bye. So let me look at Dalton Kincaid real quick.
Man, and I'm looking at while you're doing that, I'm looking at my tight end rankings, and I only have one AFC tight end in my top 10, and that is Michael Mayer at number 10.
Yeah. All right, he was a full participant in practice this week, Dalton Kincaid. So I'm going to roll with Dalton Kincaid as my guy. And then you said Michael Mayer, so I'm going to go up here to the search. Michael Mayer. All right. Click on continue. I'm going to bet a $5 bet on Kincaid. I feel like this one's easy money for you, but it's for the people.
Well, this will make 3 in a row against 3-0 that I will be against you. So not just a humble brag, you know.
Yeah, yeah. Well, hopefully Lori can pull through for me. All right, so that bet is sent. All right. And then we'll swap screens here so they can see you accept it.
You already got me up. Okay, good.
Yep.
All right, so got it pulled up.
He just clicked on For You there.
Yeah, I apologize. You want me to go back and get that?
No, we saw it. We saw it. I had it up in time.
Why is it not letting me click on it?
It's already highlighted.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't think you have a choice if I sent it to you.
All right. $5 bet is placed.
All righty. All right. So so we've got the random out there. Now I got to take the time to talk about our Patreon, patreon.com/title tribe. So the Patreon has several different levels. We've got anywhere from $1.50 all the way up to $20. So we can fit pretty much any budget. If you've got a higher budget than that, let us know. I'm sure we can work something out. But anywhere from $1.50 to $20, different tiers, different levels get you different things. So the tier 2 is at $3, and that's the one where you really get to qualify for most of the giveaways we do. We do occasionally do giveaways where the $1.50 level is also eligible, but your odds of winning the giveaways increase with the higher levels. And guys, we're about to give away a huge prize here coming up pretty soon. It's like a $300 or $400 value. It's a nice Yeti cooler. We don't have the details specifically ironed out just yet, but we're excited that we're able to give this away. So if you're already a Patreon member, you might consider bumping it up a tier or 2 for the next couple months while we sort out this giveaway. Because like I said, the higher the tier level of Patreon, the more likely, the more odds you have of actually winning the prize. So, also want to make sure I take a chance to plug our Playing with House Money show with our boys Iceman and DJ Prue. Those guys do a gambling show that's all about all kinds of other different gambling, not just rival fantasy. So, and I'm saying not just fantasy in general. So just all kinds of sports betting in general. So if you like to do prop bets, if you like to do over-unders, if you like to do straight up game bets, like they will pull out some random soccer bets that make no sense to me, but they're constantly hitting on them. And we're always getting people in the Gilded that are commenting about how they're winning money off of the advice that Iceman and DJ Prue give. So Thursday mornings at 10 a.m. is their main show. So make sure you check them out on the T2T network. And I think what we have left now is our random challenge. So the random challenge is fun for me because I'm not a guy that likes to plan things out. I like to kind of be a little spontaneous, right? So am I sharing my screen or yours right now?
You're sharing mine.
Okay. So let's oh, you already have your thing pulled up too. All right, cool. Yep. Yeah. So we're on the random challenge. So the way the random challenge works, Rich is going to go through and he's going to skip. We're going to try to get $5 or less bets, but if he goes through and a whole bunch and can't find any, we like to do the third $5 bet or less that we find. But if there just aren't many out there, then we'll just do the third that it's completely blank and let him choose a side. So there's the first one.
Well, the one before was $4, so
okay.
That would have counted the first one. So this would be the second one.
Okay.
While we're going through, looks like we got a good random mix going on here. All right, so I'm going to start here with 3 blank ones, and whatever comes first. One. Oh, here we go. Here's the third $5 or less bet. So you got Stephon Diggs versus the New England Patriots that someone is betting, and I am to me, I think this is an easy one. I don't mind taking Tua Tagovailoa. Yeah, they are playing the Eagles and everything, but their passing game is vulnerable. And if anybody has receivers that could take advantage of the Philadelphia Eagles defense, is this team right here with Hill and Waddle. And yeah, I do like this a lot. And even Mostert could catch some balls out of the backfield. So
And
I am going to.
now this is the part that I've never understood. I don't know how to accept it for just the $4. I don't even know how somebody was able to just place a bet for $4. So what you can do is click on the $5 and just bet $5. Or well, actually, yeah, maybe you can just bet $1. I
I'll
don't
do
know.
the 5.
But I know if you bet the $5, then you're locked in for the $4 bet. But now somebody else can accept you for the $5 bet. So, but regardless, I think that's a great bet. Like, and if Mike Daniels is willing to run up the score 70 points on a team, I can imagine that he would love to be able to do it on a very overrated Eagles team that has an equal record to them to try and prove a point. So if they jump out big like I think they will, I don't think they're going to let up. So that's probably a good bet for you.
I like it.
All right, did you share my screen now?
No, no, that is mine still.
Okay, can you go ahead and share mine?
Yep.
Okay, so right now I'm at the bet that where you left off, so I'm going to go ahead and click forward from there. 1, 2, 2 is Diggs and Keenan Allen. That would have been a good one too.
Yep.
So the third one will be oh well. All right, so either the third blank from here or the third less than $5.
Yep.
So there's 1, 2, 3. All right, Josh Allen and Travis Kelce. Oh man.
Ooh.
All right. See, Kelce has a great matchup this week against the Chargers, and Kelce is just a phenomenal player to begin with, and it's a divisional opponent. Same for the Bills. They've got a divisional opponent, but it's a pretty weak divisional opponent in the Patriots. So I have to consider here, is Josh Allen, are the Bills going to jump out to a big start, a big lead, and then cut back on their passing against the Patriots and kind of cut into his fantasy points? But then he also gets rushing yards as well. If the Eagles or if the Patriots are able to keep it close because it's a divisional game, like I can't take a tight end over a quarterback.
You
But
can't. Can I
Kelsey's
throw
not.
a few cents in there?
Yeah.
All right. So, yes, Josh Allen is playing against the Patriots and stuff like that, but their defense isn't bad, but they have lose some players, so the defense ain't as scary as you would thought because Gonzalez is out and everything too. But Kelce is playing against the Chargers, and that game is always a high scoring game. Okay. So man, this is a very tough one to go because normally you would say, hey, always go QB against any other position and stuff like
Right.
that, especially Josh Allen caliber kind of quarterback.
Right.
So, dude, this is a very tough one for you to decide, and I feel for you on this one.
Yeah, so you wanted to throw in your 2 cents just to help confuse things even more. I appreciate that. But yeah, you can't take a tight end over a quarterback. But Kelsey's not a typical tight end. I think the bigger question here is Taylor Swift going to be at this game?
Yes, Taylor Swift is going to be at the game, but you know who else who is going to be at this game?
Who's that?
There's already chatter going on and stuff like that because they are playing against Simone Biles is going to be at this game, and I don't know if you know who that is.
Yeah, the Olympian.
Yep, she is going to be at because her husband plays for one of the players.
Okay. All right. Well, that does it. Because I mean, it's in Los Angeles, so there's going to be, oh wait, no, is it? No, it says versus. I think this game is actually going to be in Kansas City. What are all these people going to Kansas City for? Like, there's nothing in Kansas City. Okay. Well, shoot. I was even looking at the wrong. What week are we in, man?
We're in week 7.
That's what I thought. Okay. Yeah, it's in Kansas City. So I'm gonna go ahead and go with Kelce. I guess I'm gonna take a tight end here, man. It's insane to me, but something's going on in KC for everybody to want to go in the middle of the Midwest and do nothing other than watch football. but I get to create the bet, and this is a really close one, so I'm just going to bet $1. Now, somebody out there will see that bet, and they'll accept it because it's only $1. But yeah, so that's the fun little challenges there. Now, man, I don't know. Sometimes I start getting down a rabbit hole here, and I just start looking like
yeah, I'll definitely be looking.
I'm gonna take the Eckler side on this one. Eckler against Kansas City. I know their run defense is decent, and he's going against the Patriots, who have, like you said, a depleted secondary. Yeah, I don't know. I better skip that one. Yeah, well, I'll look at this here in a little bit. This isn't as good for the show at this point. So, but a couple more plugs here. I want to make sure that we throw out toiletstotitles.com, at Rival Fantasy on Twitter, at Toiletstotitles on Twitter, and then fill in your bingo cards, guys. So right now, our bingo is up to the pot is up to $793. Hopefully, it's higher than that when this drops tonight. But let's try to get that up to $1,000. I like the pot to be up to $1,000, and I've got 10 bingo cards riding this week. So actually, you know what? Where are we at? Yeah, we're at 31 minutes. I probably want to cut this out, but I will say that Coach did his dudes and duds on Tuesday night's flagship show, and I went through and I took all of his dudes and made them a lineup for my fantasy bingo. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. But do you have any strategies on your bingo cards?
No, look, I the beautiful thing about it and stuff like that is everybody could pick the same players and stuff like that. So you tend to know that the people you're playing against is going to pick those caliber teams and stuff like that, unless you really deep dive analytic wise and kind of look at matchups and stuff, who's in, who's out on defense that you're playing. Your best bet is going with those higher players and stuff like that you know are going to produce every week and stuff like that. You and me a couple weeks back went over a strategy on who good running backs are for this kind of system and receivers and all that aspect. So, especially with QBs, we've already talked about that. So it's kind of just to go down and pick the best players available with the best matchups.
Yeah, I usually do that too. And then like the frustrating one is the kicker, though, because of the potential achievements that are out there. I remember when I won in week 2, the big thing was I was kind of coming down to my kicker on a lot of them. And and I had Justin Tucker, and I was like, you know, of course you're going to go with Justin Tucker. If you can choose any kicker in the league, you're going to choose Justin Tucker. But so many of the achievements involved him missing a kick. And I was like, oh, man, he's not going to miss a kick. It's Justin Tucker. He doesn't miss. And luckily he did miss a kick, and that was enough to win me my share of the jackpot. So that was nice. But
I will say this. When you're looking at kickers, the one thing you probably want to start doing going forward is look at the weather report. Look at games that are going to be windy and everything and stuff like that. And that's going to raise your percentage as far as your kickers at least missing one. Never pick a kicker that is playing in dome. Always place a kicker that is playing outside in the weather and stuff like that for that element of factor. So, but
not too bad of weather, because if they miss more than one, then there's a good chance that you're not going to get the good parts, because there are good things, good achievements for kickers on there too. So it's a lot of back and forth. It's a whole lot of luck. Let's face it. It's just fun. They're $1 cards. And now we know a second person, Rich, that has won bingo. Did you hear that news?
No.
Yeah. Our boy Neil from Clock Dodgers. The Raiders fan.
Hey, one of my favorites, man. Anytime there's a Raiders fan out here, especially Neil and everything. Hey, so he won a pot then too, huh?
Yeah.
So Justin and Neil, nice. Hey, I'm rolling with rock stars here, man. Come on.
That's right. Stay with us, man. Maybe one day we'll buy you a nice coffee mug. There you go, and stuff like that. Absolutely love it. All right, man. Well, hey, so for Rival Fantasy, for my man Rich, for our buddy Nate, who got called into work again this week, and for Friendly Fire, my name's Justin. Check us out at joinrival.com/title tribe, at JustinFF_, at Frito Bendito _FF, at Toilets and Titles, at Rival Fantasy. Y'all enjoy your week 7 NFL football.